Hello, everyone, and welcome to your second call in the month of April. And this is Body Week. This is Body Detox Week. And we have two very special guests with us here today. Matt Riemann he is the founder of PHYSICAL. Some of you have heard of that so far, and some of you may not. Wanted to start today's call with just getting into just a few minutes refresher on what you guys did this week. And I'm going to share my screen as I always try to do. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work so well. We're going to give that a go. And so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so if you have been following us in the Tidy Mind School, this is how it looks for you. You also can just separating out from your mind, your DJ, being able to just not really deal with it too much, but or not trying to help it relax, maybe just looking at it, just seeing when it's upset, what it's doing, what it's upset about. And now this week we are, and you learn to change your language. But now this week we started to focus on understanding DJ and its habits, hang-ups, obsessions, and we started watching in its fears and watching what rooms that it likes to hang out in. And on day 9, you were to ask yourself these questions. What do you think is one of your DJ's habits? What gets your mind or your DJ upset or wound up? Does your DJ obsess over any topic, meaning this topic pops into your head numerous times a day? What is your DJ afraid of? What topic makes it feel afraid or makes it feel fear? So just asking yourself these questions is beginning to say, okay, now that I've started to watch my mind and see where it likes to hang out and see when it gets upset, what it's getting upset about, what is it really talking about a lot? Now, I know a lot of you, especially with what we have going on in the world right now, you're hanging out in the future room, you're watching the news, you're watching coronavirus, you're watching, trying to figure out when will the world get back to normal. But if we just set that aside, so that's a given, that's in the forefront of all of our minds, or all of our DJs are kind of trying to watch what's going to go on about that, and trying to stay safe, and trying to keep groceries in the house, and. So if you set that aside though, and you think pre-coronavirus, pre-COVID-19, what is your mind, what topic or what person or what issue does it think about the most? I like to give my clients, I'll say, if we were to break your mental content down into like a pie graph, what percentage of the day does it spend thinking about this topic? What percentage of the day does it spend thinking about this topic? So that's a good way to find your mind more often than the other topics. And usually you'll have about 4 or 5 different topics, especially if you've got a mind that likes to spin on different things, and it'll just go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. If you've ever been laying in the bed at 3 in the morning and your mind's just mulling over every experience that you've ever been through, anything everybody has ever said to you, like it's just kind of hopping from one topic to the next. But in your normal, ordinary, everyday life, usually you've got about 3 or 4 topics. It's trying to be in the know, or it's upset. We're taking this week to really take inventory of what it is. I seem a bit unstable. Hopefully you hear me. just of what cleaning out. So basically, we're going into the house. If you think about the tidy mind map and you think about that, we're staying in the house last week and we're learning to sit it out and not get engaged by changing our language. And now this week, you started to say, okay, now that I've been able to do that, what is my mind, what is even going on in there? What kind of messes do I have? So it would be like if you went into your own house and you said, okay, I'm ready to take control of this thing. If you use the room and had your clipboard and you're writing down, okay, now I'm in the master bedroom now. Oh, wow, yeah, there's a pile in that corner that needs to be sorted through. There's a big mess in the closet. I'm looking under the sink in the bathroom and it's just in total chaos up under there. So that's the same thing you're doing with your mind. You're going to the rooms in your tidy mind house and saying, where are my messes? And the way that you find out where your biggest messes are is to watch your mind bring up these topics for you. So you've been asking yourself a lot of questions. If you're behind, it's okay. Maybe you're on day 2 or day 3 and you've not started your inventory of what's going on here yet. That's okay. Again, this is a process that everybody needs to honor and do in their own time and in their own way. And if it's got, especially now, don't say, well, I've quit. Let all that go and just say, you know what, I'll just pick up wherever I am and I will get in there and see what's going on. Give you some meditations and some audios this week. I encourage you to listen to those as well. And make sure you close out and you answer these questions going on. Let's see if I can open this. Good. See if I can go backwards. Yep, I think I am back. There is something really, let's see. All right. Can you guys hear me now? You can hear me now. Okay. I don't know how much you actually heard or how much got cut out, but we'll just keep going. This is the technical difficulties that we got at the moment. Okay, so as I was saying, we started this week sorting through the houses and seeing where all our messes are. So I was encouraging you to really take your journals, go through your content. I won't try to share my screen again because I don't think I can even get that to load up. Actually, I may even turn that off so it doesn't take up my internet, but go through there, really use your journals. If you're not a person who likes to journal, just take a voice recorder and say, answer the questions in the recorder. As long as you're taking the time to be able to see exactly what your mind is doing. Now, a trend that I have noticed with the marchers, as they like to call themselves, was that by about day 9 or 10, they started to notice, I think my internet's cutting out again. They started to notice that their minds were starting to become more calm. Did y'all hear that? Become a little quieter, a little more calm, a little more relaxed. And a lot of that just has, we haven't even released anything yet. We've not done any, we've not done any deep down digging into the boxes like you'll do in week 3. All we have done is said, wait a minute, I am not that voice in my head. I am not that thing that is so upset. I am not that pain. So you're separating out and giving yourself space to get a little relief. And usually just creating that space for yourself starts the process of calming this part down. And then as we go in week 2 and we start to really get to know it and we get to understand this part of you, this is understanding week, and we start to listen to those audios, we start to listen why it does the thing that it does, needs love, why it has all of these rule books, and why it thinks this is unfair and that's unfair. You're starting to learn and understand all about it. And once you do, it then also starts to realize that someone's taking the time out to get to know it, and that someone is you. And now you're becoming the caretaker. And then in week 3, we really start to dig into those closets. We start doing a deep clean then. And that quietness, that calmness, that joy is able to come up through so that you can actually feel it starts to happen to you. And if you're in week 2 and you're like on day 9 and you're like, oh, my mind's not starting to calm down yet, it's not quiet yet, well, just give it a little time, give it a little patience, give it a little love, and eventually it will. And if you're looking at the joy step 3, it's like, notice those moments of relief, notice those moments of calmness, and you're not having any yet. It will come. But it is through that relaxed mind that those feelings of relief, of relaxing, of just being able to surrender and let go, that comes up through the quietness of the mind. So the mind has to become relaxed and kind of out of the way first. If it's all loud and running around like a crazy thing in your head all day long and pulling out messes in every room and dragging you off into the future room, dragging you off into worries of the past, dragging you off into the people room and having you argue with other people in your head all day. If that's happening constantly, it's loud. Your mind is very loud. And so you're not going to be able, it's an unrealistic expectation to think you're going to be able to feel relaxation, to feel relief when this part is not being cared for yet. So I wanted to go through your exercises, but I'm not going to be able to have enough internet strength to be able to share my screen. So even if you haven't even started week 2, go through there after the call and just flip through each day and just kind of read what you're going to be doing and be asking yourself to understand your mind. So that is short and sweet on the content. And if you had questions this week, make sure to go ahead. You can even go ahead and put them in the chat box now. And in about 40 minutes, I'll start to answer those. Let me know what you're wanting to know about in week 2. Let me know what's coming up for you so that we can address that now. Okay, so we are going to get started. It is Physical Body Week. And the reason that we do it the way that we do it, where we have week 1 of just getting to know your mind, starting to get a handle on things, is because that's important first. If we don't do that first, it doesn't matter what we try to do for our physical bodies. It's not going to work if your mind is not at least a little bit on board with what's going on. So we take a full week first to separate out from the mind and start to learn how to care for it. And then we jump into physical body week. And physical body week is important because your mind is very sensitive. Your DJ is very sensitive to the chemicals in your body, whether that's your hormones that you naturally have going on, or the foods that you're in. I see. If I put my phone up here, it would connect a little better. I'm not sure. But the chemicals that the reactions that are going on from the foods that you eat, especially those refined sugars, have a huge impact on your DJ. And we have learned that your mind likes to use chemicals in food, such as sugar, to make itself feel better. And if any of you have been doing this, some of you marchers know what I'm talking about. You have your DJ is so quiet and so calm, and it's so easy to stay on track with what you're doing with your foods. So easy. You're like, this is a breeze. But it's when your mind, your DJ is upset about something, that it becomes almost near impossible, because now DJ's in control. Now this little part of you, you're not in control anymore. This little part of you is awake and saying, I'm hurting about something. You don't yet know how to calm it down. So it says, I know how to calm myself down. Out of my way. I'm going to go get the chocolate right now. Like, that's what it does, or whatever your thing is. It's like, just move aside, caretaker. You don't know what you're doing yet. I'm going to go eat, and I'm going to feel better for just a minute. And then all that does, it just keeps that chemical. You're in a cycle now. And so, but the good news is that as you learn to work with this part of you, and some of you will prove it to yourself during this detox week, that sugar does, even though DJ's using it to make itself feel better, it does make it more hyper, it does make it more loud, it does make it more all these things. So getting this out of your system will go a long way to helping you care for your DJ. And it seems like it's almost like a chicken and egg conversation. It's like, which comes first, the sugar and the mind problems, or it's like a bit confusing. But once we just clear it all out, you can see it really does help your mind. You may just have to take my word for it before you actually experience it for yourself. But once you get that out of the way, your mind does become a different creature, and you are able to keep it more calm more of the time. And then once you're able to have that little edge over it, a little bit of advantage over your mind, then you can care for it more and more and more. So this is just helping us. This detox is so supportive of what we're doing here for your mind care, for your mental health. Your physical body has a lot to do with your mind, and your mind has a lot to do with your physical body. They both need to help each other. So that is my ramble about why we do it in week 2. And now I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Matt Raymond. He is the founder of PH360, and here he comes now, and he is going to help us today. And well, first I just want to introduce you, Matt. Hello, Matt. I'm glad to have you back again today.
Hey, Angie, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I think there's some familiar faces here from last month. And it's a pleasure to speak to you guys today about health types and about how individual and unique each of you are, and the things that are right for your body and your mind to be healthy and happy. So thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much for showing up again. I know you're a busy person and you've got a lot going on, especially with COVID-19. You guys have done some amazing work putting together the immune booster. And I know how much time and effort that has been for all of you guys. And I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for offering the lifetime membership for $197, which I know that's like an incredible rate that you're giving our Tidy Mind Club members. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Angie, and we're hoping that everybody can really take advantage of these things right now, because it's definitely a different landscape and time in all of our lives. I don't think any of us have really been here during this epidemic or global pandemic that's around us right now. So we're really wanting to encourage everyone to get together and do what they can. And I'll share a little bit more about that actually once we get going, about how we've really created a great conversation and a really helpful scientific protocol for immunity around the COVID times, and how everybody here can actually have access to that for free too. So thanks, Angie.
Thank you very much. So my first question for you is, if you could help us all understand exactly what a health type is. We have put out the 3-minute health type test. If you've not taken that yet, I encourage all of you to do that. But could you explain, like, what is a health type? Why do we need to know what that is, and how can it help us?
Certainly can, Angie. Thank you. And I think the best way to start is that everybody's different. So we're all unique. There's not one single person on this call that is the same. In fact, there's not one single person out of the 7.5 billion on this planet that's the same. And so we've spent the best part of the last 20 years, this is scientists and doctors, trying to understand how different we all are and how that actually works in terms of our biology, which is our makeup, our physiology, which is how that makeup functions, and also our neurology, which is how we think and how we behave at the same time. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and I hope this works. I understand you've been having some internet troubles, Angie, and I'm also aware that Zoom is probably the most used piece of technology on the world right now. So if there is internet issues, I apologize as well. I know there's a lot of that around. So, okay, if you guys can see my screen here, I'm just going to go ahead. Angie, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see this right now? Perfect, thank you. All right, so this is what most of you have done so far, I'm sure, the health type test here. In fact, there's a little video. I'm going to see if this will play and see if the sound will work too here, because this gives a 60-second introduction as to what a health type is, and it's probably the best way to describe it. So let me just see if this is going to work right now.
We all know one size doesn't fit all when it comes to being healthy, looking good, and feeling great. But there are so many different diets and plans out there. How do I know what's right for me? The key actually already lays deep inside your unique body. And the exciting thing is, you can now access it by doing the groundbreaking 3-minute health type test. Your health type tells you what your body naturally needs to look good and feel great. It's based on science and medicine that measures your body and calculates exactly what you need to know. What foods to eat, what exercise to do, how to get rid of stress, even down to the time of day to make it easiest for you. So, what are you waiting for? Take the free health type test now and get your personalized health plan to look good, feel great, and love life.
Okay, so if that worked all right, if you didn't hear the audio on that very well, then it just was essentially sharing how you're different, how there's different foods, there's different activities, there's different lifestyle choices that are really healthy for you, and it's different for everyone. And I'm just going to continue to try and share my screen here in a different format. Just bear with me for 1 minute here while I share this as well. And this will just talk a little bit about the ways, if I can see this here. Okay, here we go, I think. Okay, Angie, if you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen here as well. Okay, we're good, thank you. So this is our health type guidebook. If you haven't had a chance yet, this is a free download that you can take. It's really important to understand more about who you are. And again, the context of what Angie shares is incredible. She's talked a lot with you so far about your DJ and about your mind, and how this is a very big part of your journey. And obviously whatever's been playing on the record very much guides the way you're thinking and feeling at any particular point in time. And this particular conversation we're having with health types helps us understand about our bodies and about what our unique bodies need in terms of the foods to eat, in terms of the exercises to do, in terms of the choices we can make to be healthy and happy. And it also gives us a really good understanding as to how unique our mind is, because each of us have a different mind, as well as each of us have a different body. And it's a really important place to get started here. So if you can see just coming through here, I'll skip over most of this information, but I really encourage all of you guys, and we'll get a link here if Angie hasn't, if you guys don't have this already, but to just a free download. It'll tell you a bit more about what a health type is, but essentially you end up seeing a circle quite often like this, which is what we call the health type circle. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit maybe here. this is a health type circle, and each of you will end up somewhere around this distribution curve. And we've, as I said, spent about 20 years in science and medicine studying people's biology and physiology and biochemistry. And what we found is that there's some people that are quite similar to each other, and there's some people who are quite different to each other. And everybody ends up somewhere scattered along this circle graph here. And what we've found is that people who have similar body shapes and sizes tend to have very similar characteristics in many ways. Not exact characteristics, but similar characteristics. And we've also found, looking at the psychology of these bodies, that their minds operate in very similar ways sometimes too. And so this has been a very interesting learning. This is all based off of scientific data and research. We've been able to find that people have similar tendencies in what we're calling now trendencies to be able to be classified in certain areas and give very clear direction as to things that might be most helpful for them compared to different people. And so I understand from Angie's group that we have the most amount of people in this group are diplomats, from what I believe, and they sit over here on this part of the circle. You'll notice that they'll be very opposite to activators who sit over on this side of the circle. You'll see the way that they look will be quite different. You'll see that the way that they think will be quite different. And it's a really important understanding here as you start to go through this navigation of Angie with her mind, that you really realize that the way that you think is actually very much tied to your body. And it's a very complex area of science called behavioral genetics. And there's a lot of other aspects you can learn about all over the website and PH360 as well. There's about 16 different science layers that we incorporate into this conversation. However, today, just trying to keep it very simple, that you are very different. And if you're a diplomat, you're going to have a different shape and size of your body, which means that you're going to need different fuel to be able to function well. You'll also be thinking differently as a diplomat compared to an activator. And Angie will certainly touch on this, and I can see some of the comments that have been around the group in the last month that have been great to see that people have really understood that they're very different to each other. And that's even been some breakthroughs at home with some husbands and other conversations with families to understand that, that's just who they are. I can finally accept that person, or I can finally give them permission to be themselves because I now understand that they're quite different to me. And so this is a really important part of the conversation that Angie brings in with the DJ. But particularly what we're speaking about here today is about the bodies and how different we are, and the fact that each of us have a very unique journey. And so particularly as part of what we've done here, as part of what Angie's doing with her program, is offering you guys a protocol to go through to really help bring your body back into balance. And you'll see as you go down through here, I'll just come down actually. So there's a lot of information in here. Again, I'm sorry for just scrolling through this quite quickly. You'll see your health type that's mentioned here as you go throughout the conversation. I'm going to scroll down very quickly here to get to the diplomats, because that's who we've mostly got in the group, I believe. So here's the diplomat health type. So if this is you and you're listening on this call, these are the body shapes that you'll often see in our diplomats. I'll see if I can just zoom out a little bit here. Get everybody on the same screen. These are just the diplomats. So this is 1/6 of the wheel. And just in that sixth, that little wedge is called the diplomats. This is roughly what a diplomat body would look like in different ways. And so you'll see if there's a female, I know there's a lot of women on this call here. So if you're more thin, this is what your body might look like. If you're more overweight, this is what your body might look like. If you're very toned and very fit, if you're untoned, if you're more of a normal range, and if you're a male, this is the same sort of thing here. And you'll see if you go through each of the 6 different types, you'll see how the bodies are different, and everybody will see different bodies as you go through and say, oh, that's my brother, or that's my friend, or that's my work colleague, or that's my husband, or that's me, or whatever it might be. You'll see different people there, and you will also be able to see the specific things that are very helpful for them in terms of how they go about their life. So you'll see about different choices to make. I won't go through all these now, but there's some really great tips and tricks in here for that conversation. So please have a look through that as you go. I'm also just going to see if I can share actually I'll share this a little bit later. So I'm going to come back out of this right now, and just as a very brief introduction to health types, to understand more about who you are and the things that are great for you in your journey. I'm now just going to jump into the next little phase of this, if that's okay with Angie. Or do you have any questions you want to ask Angie? Okay, if I just keep going? I'll keep going. Okay, fantastic. Thank you all. So I'm just going to share my screen again. I'm going to come up my sharing my web here. And again, I hope this is working okay. I apologize if the Zoom internet connection is not doing so well either. So this is, as we said, the health type test. You've all got started on it. You'll be able to download some great resources that's there. However, what's more important for your journey here with the Tidy Mind Club is you guys get far more access towards that conversation than what you would even just with the health type. So health type, we'd love to invite you to share this with anyone, your friends, family. It's free. It's just general public health education. We're really passionate about that. This is the link that you guys have all received. And if you haven't yet seen this, you may have been hiding under a rock, but Angie will certainly get this posted again in the group. This is the 10-day detox or health starter that's here as part of the Tidy Mind Club. And this goes through and specifically talks about the difference in the way that you can change your body. So I won't read out all this, but if you haven't seen this yet, please go to the link. We'll get that in the chat box that's there. I believe it's phyd60.me/tidymind-detox. So that's there. When you get to the bottom, down through here, you can just add in Tidy Mind and then click Get Yours Free Now. When you do that, it'll just take you to this page. You put in your name and email address, and the rest is follow the yellow brick road. So it'll take you through. You'll need a soft tape measure because you actually measure your body. It's quite incredible how much you learn about your body, your physical features. For those who are here on this call that have done it before, you get to probably spend more time learning about your body than what you may have done in a long time, maybe since high school, even for some people. And it's a really great way to connect and go, wow, I haven't actually taken the time to see and learn about who I am in a very long time. And so this technology really understands who you are on the outside to understand your health on the inside. And it's very pioneering. So once you get to here, you'll go through an assessment. It'll take you about 30 minutes to do. You'll measure your body, you'll answer a few questions, and then you'll pop up into something that looks like this. And this will be an area we call your dashboard. This will be able to help you understand your foods and other things. You can spend plenty of time looking through some great recipes. There's 25,000 healthy recipes in here that we've created ourselves from scratch. We're actually the largest, healthiest recipe database in the world. We have the foods that are very specific you can look through, but particularly what you'll find in here is one of these tiles that appears right here. What we have, and the people who did this last month, you would have seen a tile that was here that said 10-day health starter pack or 10-day personalized detox. What we have right now for everybody, and if you don't have this, then just let us know that you can reach out to support@ph360.me anytime, and they are amazing. They will help you with anything that you need. And you'll make sure that there's a link there too, support@ph360.me if you need anything done at all or any questions that you have, any troubles getting on board. But you'll see we're really encouraging everybody to have a 10-day immune protocol as part of this conversation right now. What essentially this is a combination of a detox that we'd usually do to clean out your system from the toxins, which of course as part of the Tidy Mind Club is one of the most important things. What we have also factored in to this conversation, I'll just click on that link while we're here, is the fact that we're really focused at the moment on the COVID conversation, and to the reality of that is, which no one's really got to just yet in the government conversations, but we're working hard on that, is to really bring the understanding, the awareness to people. It's not just hiding out, washing your hands, social distancing, and sort of trying to prevent the exposure. It's actually saying the only thing that you can do in a positive way is improve your immune system. And we all have an immune system. It's just part of who we are in our bodies. And our immune system is actually the thing that defends anything that comes our way. So anything like viruses, whether it's the COVID coronavirus, whether it's any other types of the coronavirus that have been around for many, many years, this novel coronavirus, this new coronavirus, our immune system has the ability to defend against that as well. And you'll see that a lot by all the statistics. You'll see there's a lot of people that have been infected with coronavirus and a small amount that have actually experienced death from coronavirus. So it means that a lot of people will be exposed to it, and their immune systems are the ones that actually fight against that and try and beat that virus. And obviously many people are very successful with that. And that's a great conversation. So what you can do right now very proactively is to prevent we're calling prepare and defend against the coronavirus. You can actually increase your immunity quite significantly, depending on who you are. Some people want to decrease their immunity, but we can actually get your immune system in the right place right now to help to prevent and to fight against anything that may come for coronavirus, which is a really incredible conversation. This is something that I'll just take 30 seconds here, Angie. We're very, very passionate about sharing. We're actually doing a global immunity community campaign, which starts in 2 days, which actually aligns with what you guys are doing on this conversation with Tidy Mind Club, where we're inviting anyone in the world to actually join for free as to do this 10-day immunity protocol. And we're really encouraging you guys to do this the same. It's something where you do have the detox protocol as part of Angie's, but essentially this is like a supercharged version where you do the detox, but this also boosts your immunity and helps your immune system to stay as healthy as possible right now and to protect you as we're all social distancing and going through those conversations. So please take advantage of this. And also I really am going to invite all of you guys to share this with your family and friends because it's free, this 10-day protocol that you can do. And we're really looking to make sure we can help people. You'll see in here, I won't go through every different part of it, but it will, when you come on board and you've done your measurements and you've created your profile, it'll actually talk you through very clearly what it looks like for you, how it goes. It'll walk you through all the different schedules that you've got here. It'll tell you about the different days out of the 10 days, what you're doing on those days. This will look different for everybody. If you're a guardian, this will have a reset day for the full 10 days. If you're a sensor, it'll only have it for every couple of days. So it's different for everybody. It'll take you through this. It's very personalized, but particularly it'll take you through an understanding about all these areas that could be part of your journey. It'll even go through here right now, which is very, very advanced, your immune supporting foods. This is different for everybody. It'll even be able to show the things that you need. So for this case, for example, vitamin D, you can click on vitamin D. It'll even tell you which foods have high levels of vitamin D for you and for your body right now that you should be having, and even how much you should be having that's there. So again, this is 100% personalized. You can look at any of the different areas. This protocol here, for example, zinc. So this person should be having basil and thyme that's there in their diet. And this is automatically factored in to everything that is part of your recipes that you'll see in just a minute. I'll show you. So all of these things here are scientifically proven to boost your immunity and to help prevent against COVID. You'll see this in all the research that's here. It's very, very advanced and very cool that our scientists were able to put this together in such a short space of time. We're in the middle of conversations with the Australian government and many other big organisations around the world right now to roll this out as a preventative campaign that's hopefully coming very soon once we get past this reactive phase of everybody dying and focused on hospitals and ventilators. We're really hoping to try and push this conversation out to people to say there is scientific protocols that can be done. So I'm really excited that all of you guys get to do the detox as well as the immune boost together with Angie. I think it's really incredible. And again, we hope you can share that. So I won't spend a lot more time. You can go through and have a look through this yourself. But essentially, this will bring you out into the other side. You can go through meal planners and everything else that's there. And then you come out into your dashboard that will be able to take you through things. You'll be able to see there's an immune booster that will show as active in your area as well. You can look at the foods that are there and you can do whatever else you need to do along that way. And I'll get you to explore through things in your own time. You can also remove if you don't want to have immune boosting foods. I couldn't understand why anyone wouldn't want that right now, but you can do that. You can also choose to show only foods in your local area. So it will only show things available just for you in terms of fruit and veg. You can go through and you can even click on more details about the food. As I mentioned before, this is all science and medicine based, all 100% evidence based. You'll see even down to the very T, this will be different for everybody, spinach, as to why this is recommended for me with all the references and everything that's in there, as to why spinach is going to be good right now, or there's foods that aren't so good that will tell you why. These are fresh organic produce is good. There's a lot of things you can go and explore through any of this information. So there's a lot of data in here. You can go and check it out. The recipes that are here are all based on the foods that you can eat right now. And this will be specific to you. This will be different for everybody. No one's going to see the same recipes here. And in fact, out of 25,000 healthy recipes, it'll only show you the ones that you can have right now. So some of you, depending on how healthy the system detects you are, some people are sometimes limited down to only a couple of hundred foods, whereas some people might have 10,000 foods to choose from, recipes to choose from, for example. So this is it's very cool. You can go in there. There's actually a meal planner that automatically populates if you choose for that to be the case, and it can understand based on who you are the things that you're actually going to be really good for you, you can start to go through and understand the specific things that are there. For example, if I look at the 27th of April, I can click a week. Shay will automatically populate my breakfast, snacks, lunches, snacks, and dinner. Some of you who are watching this, you'll see when you get to your profile, it won't even show that for you. For some of you, it will show more meals than that, because you should be eating maybe 6 or 7 times a day in smaller quantities. For some of you, it might just show breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For some of you, it might even just show lunch and dinner. So again, this is very personalized with how it goes. If there's something for a snack that you don't like, you can go and get Shay to switch it out for you. By clicking this, it'll automatically pick something else that's good for you to eat based on your preferences that can be replacing that for you. If you don't like it, you can go and choose. For example, if you don't like this, you can go and choose to edit, and you can replace from any one of the lunch ideas that are going to be good for you too. So I might just swap that out with the salmon here, for example. And let's say that's the meal that I like. I can actually even go and print that for here. You can go through more details, but once you've filled out your entire meal plan, you can just go through and include a shopping list. It'll take you through an understanding of the specific things, your meal plan. You can see this for the week. It can be very easy to see. And even down to a shopping list, it will tell you about things to buy at the shops, and it'll even be able to tell you which meal it's for, the serving sizes that you need. So it's very, very specific as to how much information that's here. You guys can go as deep or as shallow as you like in this, but a lot of great information. And again, coming back to your 10-day detox, you'll see or detox or immune protocol, you'll see again on your schedule here, each of you will receive a schedule that will go through and tell you about which days that you have here. So reset day is something where you're going to be resetting your organs, your systems, your processes in your body to remove a lot of the toxins and the not so good things that are there. And the optimized days will be the days where you really want to optimize your system by eating the best foods, so the whole foods for you. And again, that'll be very specifically laid out through here. You better click, watch plenty of videos as you go. Definitely turn on some notifications when you get there so that Shay can talk to you. You'll be able to download Shay from the App Store as you go, and you'll just start to see a lot more of this information as you get past. You can follow along with health coaches if you need to. We've got the amazing Katie Lee going to share about things very soon. There's also other great herbal supports here that have a lot of great references and scientific basis behind for those who are wanting to support themselves in additional ways to foods right now. So these are the things that are very real that you can go through and be up to speed with the immune system. So I wasn't going to go through all this, so I'll quickly flip through, but you'll see different videos, different things to get ready for as you go along the way. And you can plan everything out in advance for your detox protocol, which is starting on Wednesday for everybody in the US. So on the 15th, we're going to be starting this. You'll be able to see at the end of when you go through at the end of all these conversations, you'll be able to see any tips, troubleshootings, all the do's and don'ts that you need to do. And again, I'm excited for all of you guys to be able to experience this. So far, you can be able to set your start date, which is going to be the 15th that we're looking for here. So if we can, we're going to choose our 15th of April for that. Continue along the way as we go. Our meal planner. Oops, I can't because I've already started. So once you start, you can't change it again. This is the meal planner here, where you can choose to have the meals planned out for you, or you can switch to choose stuff yourself if you like, instead of having Shay pick that for you. So up to you what you want to do. We're really encouraging everybody to track their results. So if you want to do some before and afters, if you want to make sure you can see the results of how much you improved. I know, Angie, last month you had a lot of people who got some really great results during this time as well, which is really exciting to see and to hear for people. So that's a little bit about what you'll be able to see and do in that area. And then you'll be able to find out as well under resources. There will be a group that's here. Oops. Group somewhere here. Find out. I'll get the link anyway, but for the detox group, which Katie will be on in just a little moment to share about. So when that comes up, we'll chase that down too. So that's pretty much, I think, a fairly good walkthrough about what you guys are going to experience over this next 10 days, starting on Wednesday. Thanks, Angie, for allowing me to share all that. And I hope that the internet held up during that screen share time. So this is a very exciting opportunity for all of you to not just detox your bodies while you're supporting your DJs, but also to boost your immune system right now and to help with that. So again, please share the immune link that Angie will be able to post as we go. So Angie, back to you. Thank you for allowing me to share all that.
Thank you, Matt, very much. So I want all of you to make sure you go, if you haven't done your profiles yet, please do that. Go into your, do your measurements, get your profile set up, and just spend some time. Like, take some time on your computer or whatever it's easier to look at on the laptop than your phone. But if you don't have one, just spend some time and go through all of those different options so that you can see all those different screens he was showing you. It is so much information that you have access to. So please read it, like read all about yourself. So Matt, I have a couple of questions. So first question is, I'm just going to ask them both at the same time, and then you can just go right into the next. The first one's quick. When they go in to do their detox, so they've signed up for their detox, and they go in and the screen says immune booster, because I noticed the banner said immune booster. Is that what it will say is that all integrated, or is that two separate things? When they do when they're doing their detox, is their best immune foods also integrated into their detox, or is that two separate things? Answer that first, and then I'll ask the next question.
Thanks, Angie, and thanks for the question. Yes, it is integrated, and you should see, I may not share my screen again, but you'll see if you find it's not integrated. Actually, I will share my screen just so it's simple here. Sorry. It just sometimes makes sense to be able to see things for the visual people. So as you can see my screen here again, if you, for some reason, haven't got this tile come up, for whatever technology reasons that might be, if yours here says personalized detox or health booster instead of immune protocol, there'll be a little tile over here on the right-hand side, or there'll be something that pops up in your account that says, would you like to boost your immunity right now? And you just click yes, simply on the pop-up, or you come over here to say, I would like to turn this off or turn this on, which would say right here, turn on the immune booster. So even if you don't see this little tab or tile right here, there'll be the box over here on the right-hand side that you'll be able to do. If any of you don't have that show up though, please email support@ph360.me, because they'll just be able to do a little thing in the back end that they do, and then suddenly it'll all show up for you properly. So it should work, but if there's anything that's not for you, because I know that there is some people here that were here last month that have carried over. There's also a few people with lifetime memberships. So if there's something that doesn't work, support@ph360.me. They're amazing, and they'll be able to help you with anything you need to get you hooked up and switched over. So thanks for the questions.
Thank you very much. That cleared it up for me. So basically they're doing the detox, but the immune boosting protocol is just kind of built into the detox that you'll be doing. Okay, next question is, if you could, and I know there's 6 different health types, but if you could briefly touch on, because we're all different, so therefore our bodies are different machines. If you think of a car, and the motors are all different, the engines are all different, and they need a different clean out. So if you could touch briefly on the differences, like what a connector and activator might be going to go through, and what a guardian and diplomat may experience, what kind of foods that they'll be eating or not eating. If you could just touch briefly on each of the health types and what sort of detox that they'll be doing, as we all are unique and different and will be going through different things.
Sure, Angie. Sorry, I was just muted there. Yes, absolutely. So I think, well, one of the things I encourage is anyone who did this already last month for this group, I'd really invite you guys to share of your experiences and really share some words of encouragement to get around people, because the start of this is very easy for some health types, and it's a challenge for other health types. And so all of you will know how excited you are to do this, or like, oh, do I really have to do this? I'm sure there's some people who are like, oh, I'm just going to skip this, or I'm just going to leave this out, or it seems too hard, or I'll try, but I don't know how I'm going to go. It's only 10 days. We are here on this planet for a lifetime. So 10 days actually goes pretty quick. And when you've got an amazing group around to support what you're doing, it's really quite cool to see the things that you can actually achieve in that space of time. So I'll go through very briefly here some of the content, Angie. So if you are, I believe if we've got I can't remember exact health type breakdown of what's in the group right now, but if you are a diplomat that's here, which I know there's a lot of diplomats, you'll be generally excluding a lot of foods actually, and coming back to more of a plant-based diet. You have the longest digestive system out of every health type. This sounds a little bit gory, but if we actually took all the gizzards outside of all of you and lined them up, you have a much longer digestive tract, like quite significantly longer than any other health type. And so what happens, or tends to happen, is you can have foods that don't process so well, that kind of get stuck in your gut. You have the highest predisposition for leaky gut syndrome. You've probably heard a lot of the conversations around, you know, how bad gluten is, and other conversations that to do with avoiding this, particularly dairy and gluten, and meat as a pro-inflammatory sometimes. So this is particularly for you guys. We're really detoxing a lot of that out of your system. We're going to be focusing on the leafy greens is kind of the best things you guys could possibly be eating. So lots of salads is going to be the case for you guys. And you'll also see some great veggie choices that are in your meals. So that's our diplomats. So get prepared for that. And again, you've got a couple of days here to be able to go to the shops, to be able to get what you need. So hopefully, I think Angie said maybe it's been almost a week that you guys have had to sign up to get on boarded with this. If you have, that's great. Make sure you check your list. I really invite all of you guys to go and sort of plan out your next 10 days of your optimized meals, and also you learn about your 10 days of your detox, your reset, days that are there. So these will be really important to make sure you're planning ahead. And if not, that's okay, because you've still got a couple of days before Wednesday comes around. So yeah, take advantage of getting prepared, and that's your diplomats. So the diplomats are there when we've come down to around, if we're going up the curve the other way around there, we've got our guardians that are next. In fact, maybe I don't know if I'll share the screen here, but I'll just have a conversation. So guardians that are here, hopefully you know you're a guardian by now. If not, you'll be excited when you are. And we have our beautiful special guest, that's Katie Lee, who's a guardian, that will share all about things with you in just a few minutes. So guardians are going to have the most exciting and fun time ever. What guardians tend to have is more broths, and broths are where you cook your vegetables in as a soup, and then the actual liquid that's there is more what you drink. So don't panic, it's all okay. What this is taking the nutrients and the vitamins and minerals more so from the food. It gives a chance for your entire system to take a break while you're still getting the nourishment and the nutrients that you need. So you'll be surprised, and I might even get Katie to share about this for a few minutes, or for a minute when she gets on. You'll be quite surprised at how you can actually function completely fine and feel even better once you're going on this protocol, when you aren't even actually eating any whole food at all. And this is just foods that we're talking here. This isn't supplements or medications that go. This is just natural foods, but you'll still get all the natural vitamins and nutrients that you need. And that's generally what we'll be seeing on the Guardian protocol that's here, is eating or drinking more broths rather than anything else. So you guys can be prepared for a nice warm stomach to be satiated. And again, if you need some help with snacks and things along the way, we have a group that I'm just trying to load up right now. It's called the Immune Boost Community. And this is something that you'll be able to see and become part of as part of this conversation with Angie and the Tidy Mind Club, is that everybody who's here will get complete support, medical support. We have amazing medical doctors, health professionals, a lot of great, amazing health coaches and ambassadors like Katie, who's going to be sharing in just a minute, who will be there to support you. In fact, Katie is your Tidy Mind ambassador that's here, who is an expert and guru of the mind as well as of the body. So she'll be sharing about that with you in just a few minutes about that as well. So that's our diplomats are looking more salady type meals and veggies. Guardians are looking more broth related conversations. We come up around to the connectors. Connectors are going to be having a lot more smoothies in general. So smoothies are going to be really good for the connectors to really flush out. They're really high in fiber. So the smoothies, the difference between the smoothie and the juice. So the smoothie is when it's got all the stuff in it. So you chuck it all in the blender, blend it around, drink it, and away you go. The juice is where you sort of press that and just take the liquid out, and you keep all the pulp and you remove the pulp. So the smoothies is something that's a lot more focused for the connectors. And that's going to be something that I think most connectors enjoy, a lot of variety. So you can put lots of great things in there, high in antioxidants, especially for the connectors. And that's a connector experience that comes through. And you'll see that again in your protocols that's there. Coming around the circle, we've got the activators. And the activators are going to be a mix between some juices, some smoothies if they can. Sometimes activators are a little bit fussy, and I'm sure Angie can attest to this as she goes with what they like to eat or not like to eat sometimes. So if you're finding it hard to have a smoothie or a juice as an activator, you can have some more whole foods if you need to. Just make sure they're well cooked so your system doesn't have to process so much. And you'll notice as part of the recipes that are in here, and this is all shown in the reports that you'll all receive. So I'll actually just share this really quickly right now too, if I can. So in your system here, actually I'll just keep talking while I'm trying to load this up because I can't find this just right now. No, if I can't find it easily, I'll talk to it and I'll share it with you later. But you'll all have a very easy to walk through report that's there that will talk through the different steps and the specific things that you can do as part of your detox experience. And as you go through that experience, you'll be able to see very clearly the things that you can and can't eat. We're very clear and very understanding and making sure that that's something that's the big standout and most obvious thing for you. So when you get there, check it out. And it'll go through and specifically share with you about the things that you can and can't do, the foods to avoid, the foods to include, and all those things that are specifically part of that. So for example, in the activators, it'll help you understand about the things that you want to remove from the diet. So for activators, more specifically, they'll be removing fats and removing some proteins, or all proteins and fats for specific days. So the first 3 days is going to be a lot of intense things for activators, and in fact, up to the first 5 days if they can. So these are the things that you'll see. So removing those specific protocols or those specific foods from the diet will be really important to allow their systems to come back in, particularly around the way that their bile works with their stomach and their acid and the digestion is big around for the activators, as well as their cardiac health. So you'll see all this stuff written out. It's very, very simple and easy to follow in all the protocols that are there. I'm just trying to load my page up now to show you, but for some reason it's not working. I guess that's just where we're at with the internet. So as we go along from activators, we're coming around to Crusaders next. Crusaders are going to be, you actually saw this before in the profile I was showing you. Crusaders will be having every second day that's something that's there that they can go through and understand the specific. They'll do a sort of a reset day and then a optimized day, reset day, optimized day, and that'll be their plan that they go through along the way. So this is a really easy thing to do. I'm just trying to load this up right now so you can see an example of it. And coming around to the sensors, sensors are even less on that. So we're looking at more carbohydrates. Again, the Crusaders are going to be lower in proteins and lower in fats along the way. And that's the same for the sensors as we go. So really clearing out the digestive systems a lot in people, but it's also optimizing the organs that are most relevant for each of the different types as we go around. So it's a bit more than just a detox. You might read on the internet about, hey, here's a great liver cleanse or here's a great organ cleanse to do that's for that. But what we've found very clearly in precision medicine that not everybody's created equal. In fact, one man's cure is another man's poison. And so just to follow a generic protocol for something doesn't actually work. In fact, on the other side, it often does harm, even if you don't notice it at the moment. Often down the track, you'll see that. So that is something that's a very real conversation that we have as we talk with lots of governments and United Nations, World Health Organization. We consult to many different places around the world now, and we're helping share with them these are specific times. And it's not about the food and about how good the food is or how good the exercise protocol is or the lifestyle decision. It's actually about how that food interacts with your unique body and how that movement interacts with your unique body. So what you're seeing here is really an example of that at its best. And I'm just going to share my screen for one more minute here, Angie, just to show everybody this. It's finally loading, I think. Hope everybody can hear me okay. It's still in the process of loading here, I think, but this will be the report that you'll see. You'll have this along the way, and it'll actually tell you specifically about this, about the things that will go through the different content that are there, like as in what's in your report. It'll go through here specifically your schedule. It'll go through the protocol. It'll tell you about everything that you really need to know. It's very self-explanatory. I don't think this is going to load well enough with the internet that's happening here. I'm sorry, everybody, for that. But as it loads, or if it loads as we go here, we'll keep you informed. But you'll see this here. You better go through all the specifics, everything you need to know. It's really just very, very well laid out for you. And maybe we'll get to see some extras here. It'll talk to you a bit more about your health type, a bit more about some specifics. And yeah, it's loading. I apologize for the internet, but we will get there, and eventually you'll see all this yourselves. It'll be different for each of you, and we really encourage you to share of your successes. It'll talk about the things that are in the program. There is an app called Shay, and Shay is a virtual health assistant that can help you and guide you and talk to you and share great tips and advice. I know that some of you guys have downloaded Shay already and been using Shay last month with some really great results. And I don't know if our good friend Rochelle is here, but I know Rochelle was here, and I gave her a shout out last month for being an amazing supporter. So Rochelle, if you're listening to this, thanks again for all your support for everybody in there. So Shay can be really helpful to remind you and to keep things front of mind for you, and can really take you through that. So please download that. You can download that from the Apple Store or from the Google Android Store, and it's a free download if you've got a PH60 membership. So you guys have Shay for free as well. This will go through all the specifics here as to why you're doing what you're doing. It'll go through that. It'll give you your schedule as to what you need to do. It'll tell you exactly what to do on the days. It'll be able to take you through the Facebook group to join, which will be the place that we're actually able to support the most here. It'll tell you around here, like for example, this is the Crusader, so it will tell you this is low protein and low fat, moderate to high carbs, and it will go through all these different things. So there's very specific information. Please take the time for all of you guys to read this. It'll tell you about what we call a science called chronobiology. It'll tell you about basically the different times of day that things make a huge difference to you. So I really invite all of you guys to try something new, to do things in different times of the day if you haven't already. And again, it'll really go through the specifics for you as to why this is here for you, what it's going to do for you, how to get supported, and where to touch base. And I'm not sure if this is going to be loaded here, but this will be the Facebook group that you can come into that's really here. And we won't just spoil Katie, but you'll see Katie here. This is Katie might share a little bit more about the Health at Home series coming up actually to support you. But you'll see a lot about the supportive information that's here. About some great, wow, that's amazing. Whoever did that, about some great things that are happening in this space here. A very supportive community. There's thousands of people from all over the world in here already, and really excited for you guys to be able to get in there and do what you need to do. So Angie, thank you. I hope that helped just with a brief summary about what to expect, and lots of information for you guys in the materials that are there. All you need to do is start on the Tidy Mind page and click the way through, and you'll have everything you need. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you so very much. You guys have added so much since I've even looked at it, and I usually look at it pretty regularly. So you've added a ton of new things. So this is what I'm talking about. If you do the lifetime membership, like they've added so much more information that you can find out about yourself just in the past 30 days. So if you've got this for lifetime, like all of these new things that they're adding, they're constantly updating things. They're constantly learning new things about you and how to help you be healthy. So definitely invest. It's a good investment that you have this system forever and ever. So thank you very much, Matt. That was wonderful and so much good content for us. And please take your time and go back to your profiles, read into all that information about yourself. And for the sake of my activators and connectors, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break so you guys can move and go to the bathroom and get a drink. So meet me back here in 5 minutes. I'll see you then, and we're going to talk to Katie Lee. I know it's important to have a bit of a stretch break sometimes. We're about to get into question and answer time, and as we are talking, please, as questions come up for you, go ahead and post them in the chat box so that we can address them when we finally get turned back to questions. So counting down, actually, while we're waiting, we have a few people still out of their spaces. I think we're going to go ahead and ask Matt one more question before we start with Miss Katie Lee. And I don't know if y'all, I think y'all can see me. That's strange. Let's see. Last time in the March group, we had this question about medications and detox. if you are taking, Matt, this is a question for you if you're back yet. Sorry, I can't see the gallery view, but hopefully you're back. And she was wondering, because, you know, a lot of medications you have to take with food, and she was a guardian and wondering, because the Guardian Detox is liquids. There you are, you're back. The Guardian Detox is a liquid detox, and she was wondering, you know, is that going to be okay? Is liquid enough to help with the digestion, or so that it does not hurt her stomach when she takes a medication that's saying to take it with food? If you could just address that for me.
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you. And for anyone who's listening here who does have medical conditions, this is developed by doctors and scientists, so it's very safe. We only use natural food, so you'll just find anything that you buy from the supermarket normally is what's part of your detox. So it's very simple and easy to do. We're just more focused on excluding some of the things that aren't so good for you, and then eating specific foods with great properties that will spark certain organs or systems or processes in the body to come around. So it's a very safe, very easy, very healthy thing for you to do. But we always advise that you consult any medical practitioners or professionals that's part of your care. We always say, whenever you change any diet or exercise protocol, always consult with your medical practitioner just to let them know what you're up to. You can send them some information. There's plenty of science and evidence that's there that they can look at, and often doctors like to get interested and get involved in what we do after they check it out. So, but please check in if you are following any specific protocols that's medical based. If you do suffer from any conditions that you're taking medications for, please check in with your medical practitioner before you get started. So thank you, Angie, and that's a great question.
Thank you very much. And please include your doctors in your process and let them know what you're planning to do. If you feel it's necessary, just let them know what you're planning to do, so that they can support you during this. We did have, I don't know if she's here today, but one lady, she was a guardian, and she did the detox, and she actually, her blood pressure, she showed us a picture of how her blood pressure had lowered. It was like in the normal range for the first time in years, and that happened during her detox. So you may also have a lot of those great benefits from it's just health. It's health, and it's being able to clean out your system. And guys, and we're about to talk about this with Katie, it can be uncomfortable. You know, any kind of change can be a challenge for our minds, which is why I'm here, but also your physical body, you know, has that kind of addiction to certain chemicals that it's used to getting every day. So your body's going to be craving some things. And as your body has to adjust to not having those things, that can be uncomfortable. So I want to introduce my next guest. Let me see if I can find you, Katie. Katie Lee, she is our detox veteran. This girl knows everything about detox, and she is a magnificent health coach with PH360, and her and I have worked together, there you are, Katie, on many retreats, and so she is like family to me. Katie Lee, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much, Miss Angie. I'm very thrilled to be here once again. I love seeing some familiar faces here on the call that I met last week, or even from the PH360 family. So it's awesome to see so many friendly faces. And that's amazing results you just shared about the Guardian with the blood pressure. Holy crow, that is so inspiring.
Thank you, Katie. And all of you, everybody in March, Katie, just loved you and loves your enthusiasm and loves your supportive nature. And that's a guardian. Like, this is a guardian in her healthy mental state right here, if you need to know what that looks like. Very loving, very family oriented, very supportive, very encouraging, very nurturing. That is you in your element. And I thank you so much for being a cheerleader to my group last month, and also as they all joined the it was called the Personalized Detox group. I think it's now called the Immune. Tell me what it's called now.
Immune Boost Community.
Yes, Immune Boost Community. So please, even right now, if you've got your computers open, I want you to go over there and click join that group. Maybe we can put the link in the chat box. So Katie, you don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But put the link, maybe Matt can help us put the link in the chat box and just click join now, because Katie's going to be over there this month. And if you have questions, and a lot of you will, even the March group that's already been through this, you're going to be doing optimizing time during the 15 days. If you've got questions, Katie Lee is the most amazing person to ask, and she'll be there to answer all these questions. You can ask me too, but I probably won't know the answer as much as Katie will. So, Katie, if you could just kind of help us know how to prepare, like how can we prepare ourselves for the next 10 days? How do we prepare mentally? How do we prepare ourselves in the kitchen? What's some kind of like tips or some just heads up or need to know kind of information that will help us make this process just a little bit easier? Maybe some things you've learned from doing this in the past. You're like, well, I wish somebody had told me that, and then that would have made it smoother. Like, what's some things you can help share with us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have become kind of the unofficial detox queen, you could say, over in PH360 community. And I have to admit, hearing about 10 days or a week of broths did not float my boat at first, was not very excited for that. And it was actually the process that I dove straight into at the very beginning of my PH360 journey that gave me this incredible kickstart and reset that my body needed. And at that time, I really needed it. I had, indigestion, I had bloating, I had severe heartburn, I had really low energy levels. I was just grumpy all around, couldn't get myself motivated. And I didn't believe them at first that this was exactly what I needed to do to help kickstart my entire system again. But Matt was there on the retreat with me. And actually, Angie, you were on that retreat with me as well in the first detox I ever did. And I couldn't believe just how powerful the entire process was to flush and cleanse out my body, to then get the clarity that I needed in my mind. And it was the first time I'd actually physically experienced the power of that body-mind connection. And so I'm so thrilled that you are here on this call and watching this call, are a part of this program that does include both of those aspects. So many programs out there just focus on the body or just focus on the mind. And to have an opportunity to have this program that bridges those two for you to fully experience what a clear body-mind connection feels like is so powerful, you guys. I'm so happy that you're here and getting all the support that you need. So that was the little brief intro as we dive into the detox. So getting set up for success. What would be my top tips there? Well, first of all, know that in that Immune Boost Facebook community, we are doing some setup and prep days right now for our launch on April 15th. You will notice the timelines, just a heads up in that group. We're running on Southern Hemisphere timelines because we've got quite a few people from Australia joining us. So they're launching actually tomorrow, but us in the Northern Hemisphere, not till the next day. So don't get freaked out if you see, oh, I missed it. But there's tons of support in there, and really prepping yourself up for success is all about just, first of all, making sure you have a support network around you. Now, this is important for some health types more than others. Typically the guardians and the connectors, we're the people. We're connected in with people. We want to take care of people. We want to look after people and be around people, and even diplomats as well. And we all have people most likely in our lives right now. They might be in isolation with us. We might be connecting with them on a day-to-day basis. And so it's really important to have those conversations with people, to let them know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how they can support you. And I've just found that that was actually something that I was really shy and bashful about, and a little bit ashamed that, I needed support from other people because I wasn't strong enough to do it all myself. Like, whatever. I know I'm strong enough to do it. And on those detoxes where I don't share what I'm doing with everyone and I try and do it all by myself, guaranteed I make it 3 or 4 days and then I fail. And then I feel really bad about myself. And I don't want to do the detox. And then I spiral into this fun little DJ spinning the record conversation that we have. And it's not a lot of fun. And so as much as I don't want to admit that it's better when I have support and I know that I have people connected in with me who are there to support me, that is when I flourish and thrive, when I am doing the detox. So definitely make sure you have yourself set up for success in the people relationships that you have. Now, there's also the pantry relationships that we have. So it's looking at your physical environment and ensuring that we're eliminating some of those temptations that might be around. Now, eliminating might look different for different people. Eliminating might be going into the pantry or cupboards or even your fridge, throwing them all those things that are going to be way too tempting for you that are not recommended on your detox, throwing them into a box, putting the box in the basement. Or maybe it looks like you actually gifting those to a food bank right now, or giving them away to people who are not detoxing and who can take that food, you know, as long as you're sticking to your social isolation 6 feet and do a little drop off, of course. But whatever you need to do to ensure that those temptations aren't just staring you in the face day in and day out can be really powerful, just out of sight, out of mind. So this detox really is all about focusing on you and what you're going to look like coming out the other side. So take the time to really focus on yourself and what you feel you need to set yourself up for success, to empower yourself. And that might be focusing on the people, and that might be focusing on your place, and whatever that looks like. Just ensure you're starting to really reinforce what success is going to look like by eliminating any temptations or distractions out of those different areas. Is that helpful?
Yes, that is extremely helpful. What I would like, because I know there's a lot of DJs, a lot of minds out there thinking a lot of different things right now. Some are like, I don't want to, like probably our activators, I don't want to do this. And then guardians and diplos are like 10 days, and guardians are like liquids. So if you could give our minds just a little pep talk, like if you could help us know what we would say to our DJ who is feeling scared, feeling a little resistance, like what's some baby steps, what's some little encouraging words just to kind of coax it out to say, you know what, let's take it a day at a time, let's give it a little try. Like what would you say to a guardian maybe who is feeling a bit resistant? What would you say to that guardian DJ that's like, I don't know that this is okay? How can you help comfort it a little?
Oh, absolutely. And what I would say to them is that think about this next 10 days as completely focusing and prioritizing on healing your body, flushing out your body, giving your body exactly what it needs to thrive. And so this is about 10 days of, think about it like your car maintenance, for example. You know, we all own vehicles. You have to take them into the mechanic shop and give it a little tune-up every so often, right? You can't run on the same oil no matter how hard we try to avoid changing the oil. You can't run on the same oil year in, year out, again, because eventually it's not going to lubricate the engine and you're just not going to do any good for anything that's underneath the hood, right? So think of this as that car maintenance that's guided and intended to be completely healing and healthy and nourishing on every single level. So you are giving your body exactly what it is craving, exactly what it needs to feel happy, to feel nourished, to feel warm, to feel loved right now. This is a step-by-step guidebook on how you can best love your body and your mind right now. So these next days are about loving yourself, not about denying yourself, not focusing on the lack mindset of, oh, I can't have that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do this, can't do that. It's not about that conversation. This is about, I love my body so much. I am going to give it exactly what it needs to feel its best right now. I love myself so much. I am going to move my body in the way love is inspiring me to move it right now. I'm going to feed my body exactly what love is inspiring to feed my body right now, because this is all about understanding what is unique and completely personalized and specific for your health, your unique health. You're the only one on the planet that has your DNA, right? So there's only one of you on the planet. And so it's knowing exactly what your body needs to feel its happiest and healthiest right now is the process that you're going through over these next 10 days to give yourself just a bit of a reset, a bit of a calibration. And of course, like Angie mentioned before, in your mind, there are, you know, some really strong chemicals out there that do wreak havoc on our minds, like sugar, for example. Sugar in research studies has the same effect on the brain as heroin does. So no wonder sugar is so addictive, right? It's the exact same neurological patterns that are firing when you're eating the sugar as when you're having heroin. That's powerful stuff. And I don't know about you, but if I've ever detoxed and tried to take caffeine out of my routine, like, I get some pretty major physical sensations, and it's not a fun process to go through. And again, that's just that addictive and addiction behavior that our body moves towards when we're having these substances that, you know, can really affect and imbalance our system. And so for me mentally, I would say actually, and this is kind of, might be taking it off on a bit of a tangent here, Angie, but the detox process for me is, yes, we're focusing on the physical body at this point and what we're feeding the physical body. But the most powerful breakthroughs I get is actually in my mind. For the Guardian Detox, for example, we have the broth, right? So we cook down and boil down all of these vegetables, and all of that amazing nutrients and vitamins and minerals are in the water at this point. And you take out all of the fibrous vegetables, so all you have is that liquid. It's like a liquid multivitamin for your body. Now, that liquid multivitamin, when you're ingesting it, that is giving you a warm hug from the inside out. That is giving you all of the nutrients, and actually probably even more nutrients than you would regularly eat on a day-to-day diet. All of those vegetables, vitamins, and minerals that are in there is being so easily absorbed into your system, because your system doesn't have to spend time, you know, breaking down all that thick protein, that slab of steak that you're eating, or all the fats you're digesting in the nuts. You know, that requires a lot of energy and effort for your digestive system to break down those different types of foods. So that's why these detox protocols are so specific of eliminating certain foods like proteins or like fats for certain people, to give those digestive organs a rest so that they can clear themselves out. And it really gives me a chance to check in with myself on my own mental state around food, because I know my body is nourished. I am giving it this massive liquid multivitamin, you know, 3 times a day with the warm broth that I'm eating. And one of the most powerful awarenesses that I received actually from a PH360 dietitian was, he explained to me what hunger actually was. And it was really powerful. And, you know, I share this with a lot of people, and everyone kind of has this aha moment. And, you know, I understood that hunger is literally the body crying out for nutrients, crying out for vitamins and minerals that it needs to operate and function. Hunger is not crying out for bulk. Hunger is not, oh, I need to fill up my tank as quickly as possible and eat whenever I can and get something shoved in there to make me feel satisfied. And then I eat something that's, you know, like cake or cupcakes or something, and then I'm hungry in, you know, another half hour, another 40 minutes. Oh, and eat another one, and it's the cycle. And the reasons why is because your body is not satisfied with the nutrients that food item has for you. And so that's why you get so quickly, when we eat a lot of those nutrient depleted foods, you know, fast foods, processed foods, etc., is because there's actually no nutrients in it for our body to use, so that we can feel happy and healthy in our day-to-day life. And so once I understood that hunger is really about the nutrients, not so much about the bulk, it really helped me wrap my brain around the broth experience and think like, wow, I'm actually giving my body more nourishment and more nutrients right now drinking this broth than those days that I am, you know, eating my day-to-day diet. So I actually do feel better in my body from focusing on just the broth than if I do eat the regular diet that I am eating day to day. And so once you honor that and really understand that, what hunger actually is and how you can best support your body in working through those cues that your body is giving you and not judging that, which Angie's going to speak a lot about in the DJ conversation, and just being aware, like, okay, it's okay to be feeling that right now. It's okay to be feeling this. My body is recalibrating, it's going through changes, but I know I'm giving it all the nourishment that it needs to thrive. And so that's all I really need to focus on right now. So that's a bit of a long-winded explanation.
Oh no, that was amazing. Like, there was so much great content. We need to take that clip right there and break it down into like short little bursts of stuff. That was some great information. That was like a broth of good info. That was so
A
good.
nourishing cup of information.
Yes, it was a mug of hugs on from the inside out.
Love it.
Yeah, that little piece that you just brought up, I did like a hunger wave challenge to help people kind of get a reset on what hunger would feel like, and it kind of helps you get kind of a jump start into eating because your body is telling you to instead of your DJ. But I love that you're saying that hunger is a signal for nutrient rich foods and not just filling a hole. Like your body's not saying just fill this hole up with anything. I want nutrition, and if I get that nutrition, I'm not going to send you another hunger signal for a while because I've got what I need. I'm satisfied with that, and we get that confused a lot of times. So thank you so much for bringing up that point. And several points I wanted to make. One is for you, you mentioned just cleaning out the system. A lot of you already have, some of you have healthy diets already. You've already eliminated a lot of sugar. And why it's important to do your optimizing days or to do a detox if you haven't done one in a while is for that reason, so that your system does, it's not that you've got a lot of toxins in your body that just need flushed out. You need to give those organs a rest and to be able to have kind of a reset in your body so that it can break, when you do start back on your healthy diet, it's now able to absorb all of that nutrition. It's able to function in its highest optimal state. Now, Katie, thank you. You sold me on the detox. I'm like, I wasn't into it at first. And then you said all that and I'm like, all right, I might actually do it again. I don't know. So you sold me. So
I think I sold myself actually. I was like, oh, this actually feels really good. I should do it again.
well, you did a good job. So you convinced DJ, because DJ's the one that's like, oh no, I really don't. Our minds need a lot of talking to. So thank you for doing that. That went a long way. And let me ask one last question. We're going to get into some question time for everybody listening. And that is, what can we expect physically when we jump in? If you've not done the detox before, you don't know what to expect. What's going to happen to, what are we going to feel physically, and maybe even talk about the time frames. I know for an activator, it's about that third day. For a guardian and diplomat, it's around that 5th or 6th day. We start to feel a little different. Talk to me about what to expect.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you think about the detox process, or what we call the reset process, you know, what you're doing is really flushing out a lot of things out of your system. So they are, you know, re-entering your system for a short amount of time before you're excreting them some way, you know, be it bathroom breaks or sweat, however you're going to be excreting it, that's going to be happening. And so it's okay to notice some aches. You know, the body might feel just a little bit achy. The head might feel a little bit achy. That's okay. That's actually a good sign that your body is starting to detox and flush out all of those things that, you know, are inhibiting your body from being at its best state. So those aches, those pains, just expect it. It's okay. And just be kind to yourself. This isn't a time to really dive into a critical thinking, you know, project right now, or going out and achieving this and getting this done and this done and this done. the first couple of days, it's about taking it easy, you know, even for our activators who are probably going to be busy anyway, but just not putting too much pressure on yourself to achieve more than feels feasible on that day. That's totally fine. So just know it's going to be there. And as Angie mentioned, usually around like the 3-day mark is when we start to see a shift for our activators and connectors, and even for the crusaders and sensors actually. And then for the guardians and diplomats, you're looking more at day 5 to day 7, where you're really just going to start to notice a shift. And sometimes it's just you wake up that morning and it's like, oh, you know, the thought of broth actually floats my boat today because I'm actually feeling pretty good and I'm not focusing so much on that, and I don't have to worry about all this food prep that I normally have to do. I've actually got a lot more time on my hands because I've got my big thing of broth that I pre-made and I just have to heat it up whenever I want it. I've got a lot more time. Maybe I can go and start a new crafting project that I really enjoy. Maybe I can go get on Facebook and connect in with another friend. And so it's usually a couple of days beyond where our other friends are going to feel it is when we really start to feel a shift. Now, you may also experience some pretty fun bowel movement activity too, which again, totally fine. I know this might be too TMI, but for a guardian, it always blows my mind when I'm doing the 7 to 10 days of just broth, that like day 5 and day 6 and day 7 of just liquids, I'm still having bowel movements. Like, how jam-packed and high up in my intestine is that solid matter for it to need 6 days of just liquids to work itself through my intestine and actually be excreted? So it boggles my mind that I still have stuff up there. So you might notice some different changes in the bowel movements. Again, that's okay. We really want to support the body in flushing everything out as quickly as possible. And to that point, always ensuring you are optimally hydrated. So even if you always have water by your side, you think you're really good with your hydration, now more than ever it's really critically important to ensure you're getting as much water into your system as possible so that you can continue to flush things out really easily. So ensuring that all your hydration levels are topped up, and that's, you know, cold water, room temperature water, hot water, even some herbal teas can be really good for that. Just whatever you can do to keep your body feeling warm and really nourished and feeling well and hydrated is really vitally important. Now, I think those are probably the top physical symptoms that we might see at this point. I don't know if there's anything else specific you want me to mention there, Angie.
No, Katie, that was great. Thank you so much. And thank you, Katie Lee. I know I gave you super short notice to join us today, and you just were like, oh, okay, I got this, and jumped on. So thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you, Mr. Matt, for being here with us. And we are going to now jump into some question and answer time. Katie, if you can hang out, we're just going to be here another 15 minutes. If you can't, if you need to go, it's perfectly fine. And we're going to, let me look in the chat box here and see what, let's see here what we got going on. And see if we have any questions. If you haven't put your question in, go ahead and do that for me now. So
while you're doing that, do you mind if I just do a plug for the Facebook community?
No. Oh, I'm so sorry. Katie, you are doing health at home. Is that correct? Yes. And please tell us about that while I'm looking into these questions.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, starting April 15th, we have a 10-day series that is launching free and live in the Immune Boost community. So the Immune Booster community links, Facebook links that you see here in the chat box, make sure you hop on board because we are having 10 days of social support that are completely lined and synced up to your own 10-day protocol. Now, the information that you're going to be receiving in the Health at Home series is really one of a very practical nature. Now, Matt Riemann, who is the co-founder and CEO of PH360, who we talked about, he is a health professional. He is trained, he's gone to university, he's got all his credentials and degrees in science and health, and that's why he's doing these amazing things that he's doing and sharing and spreading the word right now. I am a personalized health student. So I do not have any of those health scientist background accreditations. I'm a coach, I am a people person, I work in the corporate world. And so what I'm really interested in is, of course, the science conversation is really, interesting. And of course, anything that we do wants to be evidence-based, scientifically validated and endorsed, etc. But I'm really keen on better understanding, how do I practically apply all of that information into my day-to-day life? And that is what we are unpacking at the Health at Home series, is all of this amazing information you're going to be getting in your PH360 profile and your immune protocol. It's great, but sometimes, if it's quite new information, it's like, oh gosh, how do I actually do this? What does that actually look like? And so that's what we're going to be addressing every single day of the 10-day Health at Home series, is really helping support you on how you can practically implement personalized health at home. So it's going to be full of group coaching calls, Q&As. We've got live fitness classes that are designed for different body types and different health types that are going to be available every single day. We're doing mindfulness activities, and even our very own Angie is going to be on there leading us through 2 group meditations live as well. So we're so thrilled and excited that Angie is going to be sharing some of her genius and talent over in that group. So we would love to see you guys over there in the Facebook community. And as I mentioned, Matt has put the link here in the chat box for all of us to get in there. So thanks, Angie.
Thank you so much, Katie. Yes, and please take a second right now before we jump into questions. And Katie, how do they participate in the Health at Home? Is that in the Facebook group? You mentioned that, but I think I missed it.
Yes, absolutely. Just go over to the link on the Facebook group link here and make sure you join the group, and then you will get notified of all of the live stream calls we're going to be doing, the fitness classes that we're doing. There's a schedule in there, and there's also going to be some posts on how you can join the live calls that are in Zoom like this as well. So one-stop shop. All you need to do, make sure you join that Facebook group. All the information that you're going to need is going to be right there for you.
Okay, good, Katie. Thank you so much. Yes, Health at Home. That's very exciting. And yes, I will be joining you guys as the mind part of the show, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but we'll be doing some group meditation calls, and also just some audios, some 5-minute meditation audios that you guys can listen to each day of the 10 days that we'll be doing this together. So all this is kind of syncing up with this detox time. So you've got so much support going on. You've got my group in the Tidy Mind Club, and you've got the immune, what's it called again now? The Immune
Boost Community.
The Immune Boost Community. Okay, so make sure that you join that and you do the Health at Home, and I will see you in that group as well. Okay, so thank you so much, Katie. And
my pleasure.
Yeah, and we had a question. Let's see here. Rochelle, hey Rochelle. Rochelle also says thank you for the mention, Matt. And last time she did the activator detox, she didn't add grains, but on the description it said that grains low in protein is okay. So can these grains, and this question is for Matt or Katie, either one. So can these grains be added? Can she add grains to the activator detox?
Well, yeah.
Hey, Rochelle.
Hi.
Awesome. I'm not sure if Matt is available to talk. And so oh, there he is. All right. I'll let the health scientist take over.
Hey, Rochelle.
Hi.
Thanks so much for being here, Rochelle. I really appreciate all of your contribution. We've seen you everywhere all over the Facebook group, sharing all about the detox and everything to do with it. So thank you for all your contribution. I really appreciate it. One of the main things, as Katie shared, is the science and the medicine and all the details is interesting to some people. Us geeky people really like that stuff. but most importantly, it's how do you actually do something to change your life, have a fun and enjoyable experience. So I appreciate the fact that you've been amazing in just helping support a lot of Angie's group in just how to get started, how to just take things easily, just giving some bits of tips and information. They're amazing, actually. So thank you. I really appreciate you, Rochelle. So to answer your question that's here, with grains, it's actually up to you what you want to do with the grains. Low protein is okay, but we're ideally saying no protein is the best for activators. So I know it's a big ask because activators, for those activators who are on the call or listening, activators, they're big, they're energy. They just get going. They like to do things in the moment. So for us to be able to say no protein and no fats, we're asking for up to 5 days. That's a lot for these guys. So if you need to have something, have grains that are very low in protein that are there, but ideally best results with no protein at all. And just on that too, Rochelle, I just looked through the Facebook group before I joined. For anybody who needs to know, who's not aware so far, anyone who's done this, who did the detox 10 days last month, we're encouraging and inviting you guys to join again and just do the optimized days. So eat the foods that are really healthy for you, join in the fun, join in the inspiration, join in the party of looking after your health and your body. This is something that we often talk in our body-mind conversations about. Our body is a temple that's here to be able to support our journey. Our mind often runs the show, or is the driver of our car. Our mind just decides where we're going to drive, but our body is the car, and our body needs to be healthy and roadworthy as well. So we really encourage you guys to set aside this 10 days. Come and join us. We're in this time really, which is, it's kind of a unique period where all of us are at home. All of us are not doing much at the moment. And we're really here in this social isolation. So come and join the virtual gathering. It's going to be a whole bunch of people from all around the world that are going to be here just like us, that are interested to learn and grow and connect and share and really inspire each other. So it's a great time to be healthy at home. And I really appreciate, Katie, all that you're doing to lead these great conversations for so many people around the world. So thank you, Katie. Thanks, Rochelle. But yes, you can have some low protein grains, but ideally when you're on the detox, to remove that as much as you can for that 10 days, or for the first 5 days anyway, is ideal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And we also had a question about what's the best way to share with all of your family and friends. And we have posted a link there in the chat box, or Matt did. Thank you very much, Matt. This is the best way to share with your family and friends. It's 100% free, and it's the link there in the box. So how do we share the test again? Is that the test? No. Okay, maybe the test that you're referring to is the Healthtype test, and we can put a link to that as well. But we want you to share all of this stuff that they're doing with the Health at Home. They can join that Facebook group for free. All of this is free information. Please take advantage of it. Please share it with it doesn't matter if they're not in the Tidy Mind Club. It doesn't matter if maybe they're new to this conversation. They don't even know what we're talking about. It's time to say, you know what, you're at home. This is something that you can do. Like everybody kind of feels like their hands are tied. They're just kind of at the mercy of this health crisis. They don't really know what to do. They're feeling kind of lost. They're feeling unsupported, maybe feeling alone. Loneliness is a big part of what's going on. This is a great opportunity to share this with your friends who are isolated in their homes with nothing more to do than worry about getting a virus, is to say, hey, you know what? You've got nothing else, taking up your time right now. Be proactive, do something for yourself, learn to love yourself, learn to love your body. This Health at Home is a great free thing to share with your family and friends. So we're going to make sure you go over to the chat box, copy paste that link, put it somewhere safe so that you can always have it, and share it. And once you join it's a public group, correct? So if it's a public Facebook group, you should have a share button on anything that they're posting in there. Anything that they post, you can click the share button and maybe pick you 5 or 6 friends to bring along on this journey with you and say, you know what, come do this with us. We're doing this Health at Home thing. I want you, to feel like you have some proactive things that you can do. You can exercise. They're going to be exercising with you. They're going to be meditating with you. It's just like a health channel. Like, just come watch it with me. So please do share all of this stuff. It's, you know, why not take advantage of it and bring your friends along with you? So there was a question from Susan Hanson. Susan, if you're here with us, is there any way to get a shopping list link for all the detox food items? So can you get a link to that, or do you need to go to your profile? Katie or Matt, either one, I'll let you take that. And Susan, you can unmute yourself.
Katie, do you want to, if Susan's here, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Susan's here, but so otherwise the question that was there was about, I think, Susan here?
Yeah.
Hey, Susan, nice to see you.
Hi.
So the detox, oh, I'm getting Siri activated here as I'm talking about Susan, sorry. So the detox side of things has been something we've put together very quickly for the immune combination. And so at this stage, and Katie can correct me if I'm wrong here, Katie might even know more than me about this, but at this stage we have everything that's laid out very simply in your web app. So you can log into PHYSICAL.me. It'll go through all the information that you need, everything that's there specifically for the foods that you should be eating for the detox foods that are there, and it'll automatically incorporate that into the recipe. So it'll filter out all the other things that you shouldn't be eating, and then you can have that as part of your foods that are listed. So that's then those foods, those recipes can form part of your meal planner that's there, and then your meal planner can form part of your shopping list that's there. So that's the optimized days. For the detox days that's there, it'll go through the specific things you can have, and then it'll go through the specific foods that you can search from to create those recipes, because it's all specific. So you'll see if you're a guardian, for example, broths or shop obviously is the main thing for you that's there. And if you're a diplomat, salads will shop as more the prominent understanding. So if you have the Shay app, I invite all of you guys to definitely download that. The Shay app itself, I don't think yet. I think that's coming very, very soon. All the lists in the Shay app, but the online version of everything does, and they talk to each other. So everything you need is in the web app is the best place to go for all the detox and the immunity protocols right now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Angie, I was just going to also maybe show just for 1 minute to, I think it might have been me showing my screen before, just for this, for what you were people asking about, where's the best place to share right now. And so that this here, if you can see my screen, this is the ph360.me/global immunity. There is a link in the chat. I don't know, hopefully everybody can see where the chat is, but this will be something I'm sure Angie will put in the Facebook group as well. ph360.me/global immunity. This is the link to share with all your family and friends right now. This is the best thing you can be doing for COVID, even though the government and organisations haven't quite got around yet to sharing it. This will be the next conversation you hear a lot about. I know there's been a lot of pockets of people starting to talk about immunity and things you can do. This is literally the number one thing that everyone can do right now and should be doing right now. And in my opinion, we should have been telling people about this many weeks ago, even months ago, to get on this. So this is the page that you'll see here. You can literally, there's so much information that's on this page to go through. It's all, as I said, evidence-based. It's all aligned with the World Health Organization, for which I am a consultant. And you can also click on, when you get started, you'll see the next page that goes here. This is all for your friends and family to be able to see. It'll give them a very easy place to start. They can go through and watch some intro videos that are there. I won't play them right now, but it will just say, essentially go and create your profile. You click on create your profile, and it will take them through to a similar page to get started. They enter their name and their email address, and away they go. So it's that simple for people to do. And the Facebook group that Angie said you can share everywhere. This is just the link is also in there. Can't see it right now. It's Facebook groups /global immunity community. And you can just jump in there anytime and have a look through all the things. You can, I think it's definitely a public group. You can just request to join, and then you'll see there's I don't know how many, maybe almost 2,500 other people in here, just like you, who've done these great protocols, that are really excited about it, that you can talk, you can share, you can ask questions. You've got medical doctors, health professionals that are in here, dietitians, psychologists, everybody. You've got amazing people like Katie, health ambassadors that are here who just want to help you guys understand it in a simple way and just support you. And as Katie shared, the support is often the biggest thing. Just to say, sometimes it's just, today's tough. I just want to, I just want someone to complain to. I want someone to say, oh, I can't do this. I just want to say it out loud and have someone else say, it's okay. I've been there. I've done this. It's actually very doable. Here's some things to do. Why don't you just try having a herbal tea, and see how you go and see how you feel, and send me a message in a couple of hours, see how you're feeling. And most people come back and say, it's amazing. How can a tea make me not hungry anymore? It's incredible. And then Angie will share with you about all the DJ reasons why we want to eat, which is often nothing to do with why we're hungry. It's due to just we want to eat. And that's often patterns that we have for addictive behaviors. That is why you guys are part of this group. So again, Angie, thank you for all the incredible work that you do. It's amazing to help people with their minds, to really help people understand why things are happening and the things that they can do about it to change that conversation. We're really excited to be able to support that conversation in the Tidy Mind Club here, where people can then start to understand more about their bodies and how unique they are. And of course, the combination and the conversation is very integrated. They're not separate. Our bodies and minds, they work together. And when our bodies are healthy and our minds are very tidy, it's a very empowering space to be in. So thanks for allowing us to be part of this journey, Angie, and thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for allowing us to share what we've spent our life's work doing to learn more about bodies and even their minds, to be able to have a very healthy and happy experience of life. And we really hope that you can share a lot of the great things that are out there for free right now in this COVID time. We've made everything available right now for free for everyone in the world to be able to take advantage of during this time of global pandemic. So yeah, please share with your family and friends. We would very much appreciate your support. So thank you very much, Angie, and thank you everyone. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Matt. Thanks for going on all around. Know that Katie would like to speak, but she can't get unmuted. So if we can help her get unmuted, or she may not have anything to say now. I think she was going to help answer a question earlier, but was unable to unmute herself. The last question that we had was just on the coupon code for the 10-day detox. And that is Tidy Minds with a capital T and a capital M. And you may even be able to get through there without putting the coupon code in. I'm not sure. I think you can. I think you can just say grant access or something, and it'll take you through. As long as you have the link that we supplied to you as a Tidy Mind Club member, you should be able to just go ahead and access that. But if you want to type in Tidy Mind, you should get in either way. If you have a problem getting in, you can send me or any other questions whatsoever, support at angiejohnson.com. And if you have questions about anything PH360 detox, anything related to that, you can email support at ph360.me, where Willie, it's been a long day. Willa will help you out with that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Susan, for all the nice words you're saying there in the chat box. And yeah, there's the support email there for PH360. And this has been an amazing call. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for everybody who came on a Monday instead of a Sunday because of Easter and tornadoes. What a great combination, but we survived both of them. We can survive the pandemic. We got a lot going on here, but thanks for showing up for this Monday. And oh my gosh, Jamie Holland, I've almost forgot about, what did you call that? It's the day after Easter. Oh shoot, it starts with a D. It's something day. Greetings for that day. And I can't remember what that day is, but I was going to say greetings for that. It's some Polish holiday that happens after Easter, and I can't remember what it was. Anyways, thank you all so much. Dingus, thank you, Lori. Dingus Day. Happy Dingus Day. I never even heard of that. So thanks everybody for joining us. Please stay safe. Take your Lysol and your stuff to spray your carts down with. Wear your mask. Stay at home. Stay healthy. Boost your immune system. Stay healthy at home. Join us all next week. Good luck on your detox. Ask any questions that you need to in the Facebook groups, either one of them, Tidy Mind Club or the global immunity community. I'll get it right. So thank you all so much. And we're going to say good night now. Good night or
Good night.
goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.